Hey folks, it's Tom Daly with Big Network. Today I want to tell you about Static IP Anywhere, our unique offering to bring static IPs to internet connections that you generally can't get them with. So think about broadband, LTE, 5G, and Starlink based network connections. And I'm really excited to tell you about our partnership with a company called Core Transit. Core Transit specializes in providing tunnel-based internet access services as well as IP address management services, including virtual routing technology. And we have come together to deliver a fully managed static IP anywhere solution. So what does that look like? Well, when you combine Core Transit and Big Network together, there's really sort of two ways that you can deliver static IP into your customer prems. There's the single IP option. It's the classic, public /30 point-to-point link that you would see from many dedicated internet access ISPs, where you have, one IP address is dedicated to the ISP. The other IP address is dedicated to your equipment that's on site. And then you have a fixed dedicated, fiber link in between those two locations, the ISP and the customer environment. Or the more common, public /29, where instead of just having one IP address that you can use on-prem, now you have up to 5. It's actually a block of 6 usable IPs. The ISP holds 1, and 5 is available for the customer deployment. When you use Core Transit and Big Network together, what's happening is that you're virtualizing the access layer of the network using edge light devices from Big Network and Core Transit's infrastructure on the cloud side. Think of it as a floating virtual static IP out on the internet that's being tunneled in over the top of your existing ISP connections using Big Network cloud networks. And that's what allows you to bring static IPs in over the likes of Starlink, LTE, 5G, and broadband. I happen to have a real world setup here that I'd like to take you through the technical nuts and bolts on. But first, let's look at some of the data. I use a cloud service called Orb to monitor my internet connections. And so you can see for the past 24 hours, I've been using this Orb to monitor my internet connection that is ultimately static IP anywhere delivered over Core Transit. And we have great reliability coming into the solution. Now, I land my static IP in my home network on a Unify gateway device because I use Unify wireless products inside my home. And you can see here's Core Transit showing up as a WAN provider on my Unify infrastructure throughout my house. And probably sharing a little bit too much, but there's my real world publicly routable static IP address showing up on my Unify gateway. How do we do this? Well, there's a cloud managed element living over at Core Transit, but as far as what's on-prem, that's showing up as an edge device sitting upstairs in my home with a wireless connection. We're using virtual SIM technology that is embedded in some of our hardware gateways, powered by a company called SIMO. So you can see here's my vSIM link. This is the traffic running over it. And you can see that for, the Core Transit gateway that I'm using, over the past period of time, I've had 100% eligibility and availability of the connection, one-way latency of about 35 milliseconds over the solution, and 5 to 10 milliseconds of jitter, which is expected given the fact that this is a cellular connection. Diving into the technical nuts and bolts of how you configure this on our platform, it's very easy. You just define a local service. Core Transit will provide a cloud network ID for you to connect to, and then you just map that out one of the LAN ports on our device. So I just spit out real world, globally routable IP addresses on port 3, and that's exactly what's plugged into my Unify gateway. One of the things we're super proud of at Big Network is our ability to monitor ISP connections, and that's where the interfaces pane comes into play. You can see the throughput going out the vSIM modem, and Big Network's obsession with monitoring ISP health, therefore heart beating every connection that we have every 6 seconds. And this is where you can see that we're connected over a vSIM connection, about 75% signal strength, and using AT&T as the underlying ISP which could be dynamically selected based upon network conditions at any given time. So I hope that's a quick primer into static IP anywhere using Big Network. Again, this is a solution that allows you to bring static IP addresses from the cloud, or in this case, our partner Core Transit, over any multitude of network connections, typically Starlink, 5G, LTE, and broadband that just simply don't give you static IPs, and delivering them into the customer premise using any of Big Network's products. But in our example here, we've been using an Edge Lite to do that. We hope that this has been informative, and if you have any questions, we encourage you to reach out to learn more about the solution. Thanks.